All right, champions, you should have known by now that whenever I start to sign off, there's always more to the story at Brad's Guitar Garage, isn't there? Nothing's ever simple. You can never make an easy dollar around here. But we've got the bias nice and stable now. That little trim pot with the preset resistor was a good guess. We're at about 3/4 of the way around, and we're sitting at about 60%, which is good. So you can push that harder if you want to go up to 70, but I like sitting these around 55%-ish, allowing for a bit of mains fluctuation with the target being 60%. So it's a good range for that. Everything's nice and stable. All the voltages are as expected. The voltages across each of those series caps is pretty much perfectly equal to the nearest 100 millivolts or so. However, there are two problems. One of them being, when I turn the reverb up, nothing plugged in, we get feedback. Now, I have had that in the past, and that was due to the carriage being caught on one of the pins. It was sort of up stuck on one of the posts. So that meant the whole tank was resonating and directly coupled to the pickup transducer. However, on this, that's not the issue. That's nice and free. And the other weird thing was, as I turn it up, when I unplug the input, it went away. Now, normally when if you've got physical resonance issues, you unplug the output or ground the output and the resonance goes away. So, not your average resonating reverb fault. So, just quickly looking at the schematic, you've got your reverb out over here. So that's the output of that op amp. You can see the reverb tank. It follows down here. And then it feeds back on that line here. And then that goes into the phase inverter, but there's like a mix resistor there. You got a 220k there and a 470k there. So you can think of them as the mix resistors. But what I think's happening is there's something wrong with this jack. It's physically got an issue with one of the contacts, because it's feeding back into the input like a dwell control, but like too high a range. So it's actually creating a feedback loop throughout the reverb tank. So I've got my suspicions that this jack is faulty, and that's what's causing it. So that's my first thing I'm going to look at. I haven't had this problem before, but yeah, trust me to find it. And the next issue being the super duper joint Army Navy 5751 in the front end. It's got some serious issues, and in a combo that's going to give you serious problems with noise. So I might put a 12A Y7 in there, see how he likes the lower gain on the front end, so the volume control's a little bit more predictable to use. Predicle me this. And if he wants that extra beef to really push the gain channel, we can go back to a 12AX7. Actually, that's interesting. I'm just measuring the voltage across the C1. That's the first stage bypass cap. And a second ago it went down to 0.2 volts. So not conducting at all. So bitten by the new old stock valve bug. Often you don't know what life new old stock valves have had, so it's all very hunky-dory and whatever to stick them in your amp, but more often than not it gives you more issues than tonal glory. So note now that I've just plugged a through patch lead from the preamp out to the power amp in. Now that reverb issue's gone away. So yeah, I think we need a new jack for power amp in, and now the light's playing up, which is quite common in these. The contacts get a bit corroded, being only 6.3 volts. Any resistance there significantly affects the current draw of that bulb. Yay! Alright, so out comes the board again. But with that patch lead in, and besides the 500 other problems that we've had, sounding great. Okay, so I've got a new jack in there and it hasn't fixed the problem. I did test the old jack as well. The switch contacts are okay, but it does have a bit of dust bunnies and stuff floating around in it, so I left a new one in there. But then I noticed the most obvious fucking thing, idiot Brad That's a different shaft. It's brass. So, have we got the wrong pot value? Has a previous tech genius put a 1 meg in there instead of 100k? Okay. I'm an idiot. So, I didn't realise that there's a different tank for the Blues Deville and Blues Deluxe reissues, as there is from the Blues Deville Blues Deluxe originals. However, the Hot Rod Deluxe Deville are the same for reissue or original version, same tank. So I don't know, I've just never come across this before. I didn't realize there was a different impedance on the input for this particular amp. Fucking. So essentially the one we want is 150 ohms input impedance and 2250 ohms 2.25k output impedance, and this one is 600 ohms input impedance and 2250, same as the other one. So I'm gonna have to order a friggin' tank. I can't get any jobs out the door, champions. There's always something that it's got to stay here for another fucking week for. So I'll get that on order, pay another fucking round of shipping just to get this job out the door. It's never ending. Oh, and one thing I should point out with this this bias arrangement, the amplifier came in biased at 4%. 4%. Not even barely switched on. It's very energy efficient though, I'll give it that. It's very green. Anyway, I'm sick of looking at this one now, so this is where I'm going to end it. You know what a friggin' Blues Deville sounds like, no need to do sound samples. It's incredibly quiet and incredibly loud when you want it to be. And that's what these things are all about. So anyway, I'm going to friggin' throw this at the wall and go to the pub, I think. So I'll see you on the next one. Bye.